Wow, this episode really did a good job in making me so triggered, especially towards the assault case. I want to talk about that first. So, Kibom, Gyudok, and Seon they went to the meeting court thing and state what happened. Gyudok said it's it's not an assault. It was basically a situation where our senior is straightening us out because we messed up. And I'm like, okay, at least we're getting somewhere. But then that that was it. He didn't say anything else. And I'm like, okay. But then Seon Gyeom stated that no, it was an assault. I assaulted my juniors. I was like, okay. But then that was it. I'm like, is he not gonna bring up the fact that those two who's sitting right next to him assaulted somebody? No one's gonna bring the fact that Woo Shik was pretty much bullied? And that's just part one of what triggered me. No one bringing that up. Then when the court people was like, well, I guess it's just a simple case of athletes, having a small little argument. You guys made it such a big deal. Well, case closed then. Happy ending. But then Seon Gyeom was like, and I wrote this down, quote, has this been the story of all disciplinary stories, full of happy endings with no offenders or victims? And I'm gonna have to agree. So I guess the bright side for them is that no one is punished and happy ending. I'm like, no happy ending. Someone needs to be punished. And that's what Seon Gyeom was trying to do. Get punished. Yes, he did assaulted somebody. And yeah, I kind of agree that he should get punished a bit. But having the other two just get away scot-free, the fact that they assaulted another athlete, it's like, come on, that's some BS. Now, fast forward after the meeting, when Seon Gyeom approached his coach and said, hey, did you get the evidence that Woo Shik said himself that he was going to give to the coach? But then the coach was like, no, it was nothing. There was no point in submitting it. And I'm like, that's part two of being triggered. The coach. And then the coach, well, not just the coach, but also Gyudok too. They said the same thing to Seon Gyeom. Wow, you must really be entitled because of who your dad is. And I'm like, here we go. Part three triggered. Bringing his dad because of who his dad is. And they were like, well, I mean, whatever trouble you're going to get, your dad is going to pay you out. And I'm like, here we go. That's just an extension of part three being triggered. And I'm like, damn, no wonder Seon Gyeom is so calm. I mean, he does get upset, and we saw that, but he doesn't freak out like everyone else. No wonder he's so calm, because he's so used to all of the BS that he's been dealing with. From the people who kept saying, you're entitled because of who your dad is. You're famous. You're dating an actress. Stuff like that. And also with his dad, with the BS that he's dealing with his dad. His dad is something else. That family meeting, well, the family lunch, he was like, your sister is a golfer. She gets first place. Why can't you be more like her? And I'm like, okay. Part four being triggered. Oh, man. Now, I did went a little bit off sidetrack because I was mainly talking about the assault case. But anyway, fast forward relating to the assault case. The team is at Jeju Island. And Seon Gyeom, he approached Woo Shik and they had their talk. And Woo Shik was like, well, he was happy that Seon Gyeom wasn't punished. But the thing where I kind of disagree with Woo Shik was when he said, I should forgive the two for pretty much beating him up. And I'm like, no, there shouldn't be no forgiveness. There should be punishment. And the fact that they got away scot-free is like, come on. And then Seon Gyeom was like, well, can you forgive them? Woo Shik hesitated. And then he said, then you shouldn't. And I agree. Like I said, no forgiveness whatsoever. Punishment, man. Try to think about forgiveness after they've been punished. Now let's talk about the ending. So the racers, well, not the racers, well, they do race, but the runners, they were getting ready to run, and then once it was time to run, they all ran, except for Seon Gyeom. And he questioned himself. I know I wrote this down here somewhere. So he didn't run because he was still trying to figure out why did he run in the first place. And he kind of walked up to the reporters, and the reporters were like, "Are you okay? Is it because of the scandals? Is the rumors true? How come you did not run?" And then he was like, quote, "I assaulted my juniors." And then he looked up at Miju. And this is where it kind of triggered me just a bit, part 5. After he said, "I assaulted my juniors," is he not going to bring up Woo Shik? Are we going to ignore the fact that Woo Shik got assaulted? Look, I get it. Seon Gyeom wants to be punished of what he did. I respect that. But can you at least bring up that part of the situation of why you assaulted your juniors? Okay? Obviously, he is the type of... Seon Gyeom. Obviously, he is the type of person that wouldn't do anything unless there was a reason. He had his reason. He didn't just decided, hey, I'm gonna assault somebody. No. So I am really hoping that they do bring up Woo Shik's side of the story. Because Woo Shik, he's not saying anything. Especially to his grandma, which I feel so bad for. Because she is worried about him. And the fact that he didn't give her an answer of how he got this way really breaks my heart. And I understand why, because, I mean, it's your grandma. You don't want your grandma to worry about you even more. But the fact that you're not answering your grandma's question just makes her worry even more than you hope for. This was a good episode. There were a little slow moments, but I wouldn't say it ruined the episode. It didn't. But yeah, this episode was pretty good. I love the fact that it really highlighted all of the BS that Seon Gyeom dealt with, and he was pretty much tired of it. But at the same time, he kind of kept it cool and calm, well, just a bit. But I have a feeling that we are going to see him explode. Because you can only hold something in for so long. And I get it with all of the BS that he dealt with, and he's used to it. That's what he said. And when you're used to something, it's like, it's more like a shrug shoulder kind of thing. But here's the thing. He's used to it now. But that means before, he wasn't used to it. So I'm guessing he kind of broke down before, but since he got used to it, he's calm, cool, and collective. Sort of. But I do have a feeling that he's really going to break that in the future. Not gonna lie, like right after watching episode 1 and 2, I wasn't really into it. I kind of thought it was going to be this like calm romance drama with a character you may or may not like. But in the end, with the whole assault case, seeing why he's so calm, sort of, it just makes you curious to when he's really going to break out of his calmness and really show his emotions. And I think he will. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed my review, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. See ya.